Jin is one of the best assassins in Supervive with a very fun and unique playstyle. At first, you might think that he's extremely complicated, but in reality he can be played in a very simple and very straightforward way. In this video, we will discuss everything about his kit, his build options, combos and most suitable powers to his playstyle. In general, his playstyle is focused around his ability to dash into the enemies and eliminating them with a single combo. Jin's passive Shadow Grace alerts him when he is spotted by enemies and grants bonus movement speed when he is out of sight or landing auto attacks. His first ability, Flash Dagger, will simply teleport him to the first enemy hit and deal some damage to it. Also, this ability's cooldown will reset when he takes down an enemy. Dodge Roll is his dash ability that has two different uses. You can use it once while airborne to travel big distances with 11 seconds cooldown, and once more to dash to a smaller distance with 6 seconds cooldown. His core gameplay is fully dependent into these dashes. But before we go into more details, let's have a quick look at his regular left mouse button attack. The only thing that you really want to know about it is that you want to hold this attack to start charging it up and release it the moment it is fully charged to deal its maximum potential damage. After the first charged hit, you can keep holding it or tap it 2 more times to make a follow-up attack of 2 additional hits. His core gameplay, however, involves only the first charged attack combined with his dashes. What you will aim to achieve and master is to simply charge your first attack, leap into the air and dash towards your opponent. After you land this simple combo, his third ability comes into play. His third ability, Flip Slash, slashes into the air, damaging and slowing any enemy hit. When you recast it, it slams the ground, grounding any enemy's hit and dealing tons of damage to them. In between these two casts, you have enough time to add 2 different actions. For example, you can flip, dash, attack and finally use a death blow. Flip, use 2 regular attacks then death blow. Flip, glide, attack and death blow. Or even flip, double dash and then death blow. It is important to know that enemies take additional damage based on their missing health. If you land the final blow with this ability, its cooldown will also be fully reset. Finally, before we move to the combo section, we have his ultimate ability, Faillight Clone. This ability sends out a clone of yourself that copies all your attacks and abilities. You are able to move this clone by tapping R, and you are also able to swap places with it by holding R. Now, lots of players believe that since his clone deals damage as well, you will have to take advantage of it and use it in the battle for more DPS. Thus, they believe that Jin is extremely hard to play because you will have to coordinate his spells to land them both as yourself and as the clone. While this sounds logical and nobody can say it's not true, using ultimate in a way more simple way is what makes Jin a very strong assassin. Of course, in a 1 vs 1 situation, it would be a good idea to spawn your clone, tap R into your opponent to have it chase him and duel him. It will do extra damage and maybe tank a hit or 2 for you. But in most cases, you will want to use your ultimate only for reposition. The combo sequence that you will use 90% of the time is to simply throw your clone behind you somewhere safe, start charging your left mouse button attack, and with the perfect timing, jump into the air, dash and strike your target. The moment you land your charged attack, cast your third ability once for a Flip Slash, and then you have enough time to add 2 more regular attacks while in midair before you can finally cast Death Blow again. If you have landed your combo and your target runs away, now it's the time to use your first ability, Flash Dagger. Flash Dagger has a very long range, and if you manage to land it on your target after a successful combo, there is no way he lives to see another day. If you have landed your combo into multiple opponents, you can take this small win and swap places with your clone. In this scenario, you can continue attacking with your clone, trying to pass some extra damage and hopefully bait some of your opponent's abilities. On a different scenario where your target is aware of your location and keeps his distance, you can use your ultimate more aggressively to gap close to him. This will be a lot more efficient if you can take advantage of its overwall capabilities. In Supervive, a few hunters have the ability to pass through walls and Jin is one of them. As I've said, you can use it aggressively, but you can also use it defensively when you are surrounded by enemies or even when you want to escape from a tight spot like this one. In conclusion, Jin's 90% of gameplay will be to just charge attacks and dash into your opponents to strike them. Use flip strike after you connect with the first attack and throw dagger to chase them even more. Before we move to the item section, I will recommend you to put 3 levers at your third ability to gain access to the 300 HP passive shield. The reason why is because 300 HP at level 4 is quite huge. Imagine that your max HP at the time would be around 1200 HP. And additionally, on a perfect scenario where you have reset its cooldown by taking down an enemy, you get to recast it for an extra 300 shield. As for level 6, I will leave it up to you if you wanna pick Flash Dagger or if you prefer to lower your dash's cooldown by upgrading your dash ability to level 2. If you find yourself missing the dagger all the time, it might be a better idea to upgrade your dash instead. The most viable tip I can give you if you are planning to play Jin is to change your third ability hotkey to right mouse button. It will be a better idea to have your left hand fingers available to the direction keys in order to land your third ability while you are dashing into your opponents. I guarantee you that putting flip slash on the right mouse button will make it a lot easier to aim and execute. Personally, I have flip strike on both E and right mouse button and flash dagger on Q and thumb mouse button. Many players also use their middle mouse button as well. In arenas, you can take Interweaver as your default option since it will provide you with some CDR from its base stats plus some extra damage from its passive. One of the easiest choices you can make when picking items is to go for the last stand if you're having a healer on your team. If you're not familiar with this item, apart from its base lifesteal, it provides you with 50% bonus healing from all sources when you drop below 40% HP. This means if you dive alone into the enemy team and one of your healers back you up, you can sustain huge amounts of damage. If you don't have a healer on your side, you can either completely avoid taking a lifesteal item, or you can go for the Swift Blade. Swift Blade will provide you with some cool stats that you can proc quite easily with Jin's playstyle. Lastly, as an alternative to the lifesteal items, I recommend Turbo Booster. This item will boost Jin's huge movement speed even more, making it an excellent choice as well. And finally, let's have a look at the most fitable powers for Jin. One of the best powers you can use is the Invisibility Cloak. After a few games with Jin, you will quickly notice how important it is to be able to sneak up at your opponents and how easily you can one-shot one of them if you manage to successfully land your first combo. Hiding into the shadows with Invisibility Cloak can enable you to strike your enemies from all kinds of angles. Having the same concept in mind, you can also use Brushwhacker. This will give you the ability to gain some bonus movement speed and invisibility when you step out of bush. Ultimately, finding Delicate Disguise will be the best way to remain unseen. If you can't sneak up to your opponents, the best thing you can do is to gap close quickly. Tools like the Grappling Hook and Blinkstone would be the best items to do so, plus an honorable mention to the Abyss Specialist, where it will allow you to cross the abyss without burning your dash, thus getting closer to your enemies much easier. If you like this kind of videos and you wanna help me with the algorithm, make sure to leave a like and some positive feedback, subscribe for more relevant content, and see you on the next video.